Hi everyone, welcome to FilmDirt. Let's talk about this very cool looking film. I mean, how else can we describe it? It's John Wick. This is the original film. It came out in 2014. And one of the first things I have to say is that Keanu Reeves is fantastic in it. I've always liked Keanu's films. I think it was around the time, it was either Speed or Dracula come out, or maybe Bill and Ted. Keanu always had a reputation for being a fairly average to poor actor. And I never saw that. I always found his acting quite interesting. And definitely in the present times, he's always come across as a very well-respected actor. And he's got a huge body of work that is generally really good. I think there have been a couple of duds, but at the end of the day, who hasn't got one or two of those? So with John Wick, it's directed by Stahelski. I hope I got that name right. I probably butchered it. And no doubt fans of the film will know that he was Keanu's stunt double and does bear a striking resemblance. And no doubt there's many other behind the scenes people from the Matrix films working on this. And I did recognise, I think, a couple of the cast, in particular Daniel Bernhard, who I know is an exceptional martial artist. I've seen him in quite a few action films and he always looks really impressive at what he does. So he's definitely going to fit in well here. A film which is full of tough guys, and it seems to be in not so much an underground world, but it's a very well-to-do world, isn't it? More of a comic book type film than based on any kind of realism. I like that there's a kind of hotel restaurant that is the safe house, I guess. You know, as we're told by Ian McShane's character, no business is to be conducted on the premises. And they've got their own currency in the form of, looks like very nice gold coins. It's got so much value. I think it's one per life, I think I saw. So how much value do they hold? I wondered that because the main Russian kingpin, you know, the main gang leader, he's put a price on John Wick's head at the price of 2 million, which it seems a little bit low, but for me it just seems odd because all of these, you know, characters, they all look like they might have that as just petty cash, you know, they carry around with them. So there was an interesting start to this film. I was thinking that he may be, you know, in retirement or freshly out of retirement, but it all started with him returning home covered in blood. So was this one final job, or was it just one of the many things that are bringing him slowly back into the world? We already established that his wife is dead, not from a gangland hit. There was a mention of her illness, so there's no connection between her death and his return to this world. Although the dog was killed, and that's enough to tip anyone over the edge. So like I said earlier, it's a very cool looking visual film. Don't know who the cinematographer is on this, but you know, I know there's loads of colours in the nightclubs and the restaurants, and we've got lots of greens and blues and reds, and it's almost like the screen is awash with those colours. But I mean, when they're outside in the real world, you know, even the start of the film where he's out in his Mustang, there's a very nice grey look to the world. It's not bright and sunny like a lot of Michael Bay films, let's say. You know, it's always sunny in his films, isn't it? But here it's a nice dusky look. And then you've got a slight warmer glow as he's driving down with his Mustang, you know, and we're enjoying that sound of the engine. It all looks and sounds great. So with the film really being developed by a former stuntman and, you know, probably a lot of other stuntmen in the crew, it does look like it's on a decent budget. Doesn't seem to be much handheld work, and there's always crane shots and drone shots. It looks like whatever funding they had is right up there on screen. So I love the Russian gang in this film as it's portrayed by this group of actors. The Vigo character in particular, I think they're all comic book villains almost, but almost like quite darkly realistic, if that makes sense. They all look like they belong here and they're not hamming it up. And we've also got Willem Dafoe as Marcus. Fairly early on in the film, when he was offered the contract to take out John Wick, didn't he ask if it was an open contract or whether there will be other people in on it as well. Thankfully he was told it would be open, so that gives him a chance to take out anyone else that are coming for John Wick and almost acting as his protector. I thought that was a nice angle, just to stay close by and keep an eye on him. It doesn't seem real at all. That situation is completely for the movies, but being a comic book movie, I loved it, as well as the clean-up crew as well. this group of guys that come in to mop up all the mess after a big shootout. I love that. That really did amuse me. And quite a few other faces here that I recognised. Adrianne Palicki, playing Perkins. She came to her demise because she violated the one rule set out, as mentioned earlier. She conducted business on the premises of the hotel, so yeah, she didn't last long. So lots of action here, lots of very beautiful visuals. It's a very simple story. Ian McShane is always great in everything he's in. You've got the calm hotel manager who's just being diplomatic and just wants what's best for his guests. And the actor that plays the main villain, the son of Vigo, I think his name's Gregory. He was great. Just one of those, people you just want to thump. Some faces and some personalities automatically have that aura about them, don't they? But he was great. Everyone is great in this film. So I enjoyed this so much. I'm going to give it 5 stars. And I'm very much looking forward to revisiting the sequel as well. I don't really recall that much about it. I think enough time has passed now. It's been a few years where you forget enough of a film that you can revisit it and almost enjoy it all over again as if it was the first time again. And what a very interesting character from Keanu Reeves. And my upcoming review of the sequel will be coming very soon. So thanks for joining me, and join me again on the channel soon. Like and subscribe and all of that. It was great talking to you. All the best and take care.